Hello everybody, I'm back. I just uploaded my Happy Mail from Suzanne and I had to start my crunchy. It's so divine. Thank you again, Suzanne. I've composed myself. And as I said at the end of that video, I was going to do a video about friendship. And this is something, as I shared with you my plate analogy that I used with children as a nanny. This is another one I liked to do with children. And I just thought it would be kind of fun to share with you guys. I have so many of these. Again, I like to teach through stories. I find it's the best way I learn, and I think it's a great way to teach children. And so basically this little lesson was typically taught when a child would come home, not understanding why a certain friend no longer wanted to be their friend. You know how it is when you're in grade school and you have a group of friends and one of your friends becomes friends with another person and they say, well, if you're their friend, you can't be my friend. You know how it is. And it's very confusing. Never made sense to me. It's kind of, one of those things I wrestle with, and even now as an adult. But so typically when that would come up, it would be various ages for different children. And I find girls are more guilty of this than boys, to be honest. So typically what I would do is I would ask them to draw a tree for me. And you might be thinking, oh my word, why would she ask a child to draw a tree when they're so upset about things that are happening in their life? If I have raised that child for any number of years, they are used to me. And for example, typically when I have a child who is just having problems in general with things at school or people or just a situation where a friend won't, play with me, whatever, I would say, go do a puzzle. And I'm not talking like an 8-piece, I'm talking, like a 100-piece jigsaw puzzle. And, they get frustrated. Well, just go do a puzzle. I find the less talk you do a lot with children, the more impact you make. So I would tell them to do a puzzle, and then they would, make their puzzle and huff and puff. And typically by the time they finished the puzzle, they had calmed down a little bit, and I would tell them that prior I would say the puzzle will really help you. And so they'd be like, well, that didn't help at all. I'm like, but no, really it did. I'm like, you have every piece, correct? Yes. Okay, so you've completed the puzzle. Yes. Perfect. Do that with your problem. Break it up in your mind into lots of pieces and start putting the puzzle together. Were you at fault? First of all, look at yourself. Analyze what your role in this situation was. Is there anything you need to do? Blah, blah, and put it on. Once you put all of that together in your brain, you'll have your solution. So anyway, that's a little tangent to say, yes, I would have a child draw a tree. So I don't know, depending on age, you might get something that looks like one of these. I have my camera on this little desktop tripod, so we'll see. I don't know if y'all are seeing. Maybe it's better if I turn that guy off. So anyway, I would have them draw a tree, which again would give them a minute or two to kind of decompress a little. And then I would say, I want you to listen to me. And I would start drawing myself. And I would say, in life, we are going to make lots of friends. Friends in our lives will come and friends in our lives will go. Actually, I'm going to flip the page so I have more room. People come and go in our lives. And you don't always know who are seasoned friends, who are forever friends. So you usually kind of treat everybody as a forever friend because you don't know. And hopefully you treat people how you want to be treated. But friends are very important. It's a great part of life is meeting people, loving people, taking care of people, nurturing people, having fun with people. It's just, part of our lives. But not everybody is going to be your friend forever. Not everybody comes into our lives forever. And there's nothing we can do about that. And that's just a part of life. And so as much as you might love for somebody to be a friend and for eternity, that's not always the case. And so I'm going to share this with you. And I'm sharing it with my YouTube friends now. If you look at this tree, What part of the tree is you? And they would, just kind of look at me like I'm crazy. These are terrible leaves, ladies. I'm doing this for speed because really I need to draw like lots of these. I'm just going to draw like little circles. I'm not going to draw all of them to be beautiful maple leaves or anything, just kind of blobs. Anyway, so I would say to them, you're the trunk. This is you, one. The tree has one trunk on it. So that represents you. That is the biggest part of the tree. That is you. You are responsible for you. This is your soul. This is who you are. And all these leaves that I'm drawing represent friends. Now in life, you can have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of friends. People you are going to meet that are going to become part of your life. Some of those people are part of your life for a moment. Some of those people are part of your life for a week, a month, a year, a couple years, a season. They're called season friends. They come and go. Now these people are in our lives for a variety of reasons. They're, there at the time. They might come into our lives to teach us something. They might come into our lives to learn something from us, or both, just for fun. A joy friend, somebody who brings you laughter during times of sadness, somebody who's there, play games with. Now remember, I'm talking to children, so, your friends you have come over to play, friends you go sleep over at their house, whatever. These are friends. But they're not always going to be in your life forever. As sad as that is, it is the truth. Sometimes these friends might go away because they move. Sometimes they go away, they're still in your class at school. They choose to no longer be your friend. And just like the leaves on the tree, they're not forever. That's why they're called season trees. Think about the seasons of nature. Leaves grow on the tree, and it's very fascinating to me when they first grow, how when they grow, they're green. And the reason they're green is because of something called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what nurtures the leaves to be their beautiful green color that we see. And for many, many months, we get to see this beautiful green leaf. But in the fall, something fascinating happens. As the chlorophyll starts to dissipate due to season changes, the leaves change their colors. They become yellow and red and purple and orange. But I find it fascinating that before a leaf falls, they show their true colors. And I think that sometimes happens in a friendship. When a friendship dissipates for maybe a negative reason, you might get to see somebody's true colors right before they exit your life. You might not. They may fall when they're still green in color. The wind will blow, and the wind will blow this tree, and leaves will start to fall. Just like friends. Friends will come and go in your life. It's not something you can control. You, as this tree, can't hold the leaves onto your branches. That is not for you to decide. And just like if you are outside in your back garden playing and a gust of wind comes by and leaves start flowing and falling and they're so beautiful. You might be able to catch one if the wind, just has a gust and then the leaves fall straight down. You could catch them, it's true. It's not that you can't. But some blow, and they're really hard to catch because a big wind is taking them. And to chase that leaf, or even pick up a leaf that fell, you can pick it up and you can, tape it onto the tree if you're adamant that it needs to still be part of the tree. But it's no longer receiving nourishment because it has let go. And so to chase or reattach a leaf that has let go is really a waste of energy and time. That leaf does not want to be a part of the tree anymore. Just like when somebody in your life decides they don't want to be a part of your life anymore, to try to reattach that at their decision to go is a waste of energy and time, because even if they decide, okay, yeah, I'll come back, it's not the same as what it was. So when somebody decides they don't want to be a part of your life, you have to let them go. Very, very important. As hard as it is, as sad as it is, as scary as it can be, you have to let them go. So those are your season friends right there. So now let's look at the branches. Branches are a little bit more interesting, because what we really want in life, we want those forever friends. You're not going to have hundreds and thousands of forever friends. You won't. And like I said, some season friends just kind of go away because you may have moved from each other, have lost contact. But branches are a little different. Branches can stay around for a little longer. They gain strength from you. They grow. They get stronger and bigger. They're really good friends, or so you think. Branches are real friends in disguise. I say that because they do get stronger and stay around longer. But these aren't your real friends, because at a test, and by test I mean not something done manipulatively or mean, but in a moment where you really need a friend. Let's say you're in a situation where you're getting picked on at school, and that somebody you thought was your real friend, instead of siding with you, decides to go with the bigger group and join in making fun of you, or just remain silent. At a test like that, the branch breaks. Just like a branch on a tree, the wind can blow and it'll stay for a while. They can stay around for years and years and years, but at the put pressure on it, it'll snap. So these are even harder when they're no longer a part of your life, because you thought they were your real friend, and maybe they were a good friend for a while, but in a situation where a real friend would stand the test of time and be there for you, they were not. So that's what's a little sad about the branches. They're real friends in disguise. But you might wonder on this picture, where are my real friends? Because as I said, the trunk is you. You have your seasoned friends. You have your longer time friends who are posers. Your real friends are down here, where nobody can see. They're the friends that are cheering for you, growing with you. They're with you through everything, thick and thin. They're the roots of the tree. Nobody can see them. But like I said, when the wind blows up here and knocks these season friends out, or when a test comes along and the branch friends snap, do you know what your real friends are doing down here? They are grabbing onto the earth and hanging on with you. They are there for you. There's not a lot of them, but they're there. They nourish you. They bring you what you need in life. These may not be the popular people in your school, but these are the friends. As you grow and meet many, many people, this is what you're looking for. People that will be there for you no matter what. There's nothing wrong with a lot of these people. I go to the grocery store and I've seen people sad, and I'll stop and I'll talk to them. And I could make a huge difference in their life just by a conversation with them. No, yes, it's not really considered a friend, because it's somebody, I just came in contact with. We've passed each other. But something I may say to somebody could alter their life. So that's somebody that just kind of blew in and out for a few minutes. Or it could be somebody who you have a working relationship with when you grow up and you're in a job. Maybe the only conversations you really have are about your job, and then when one of you leaves, you never talk again. But they were a nice person to be around. Again, nothing wrong with that. seasoned friends are not a bad thing. People come and go. I have some real friends who sometimes we don't talk for a while. Lives get busy, but the minute we do, it's like no time has passed. You catch up with each other, you encourage each other, you're there for each other. That's a real friend. And real friends will stand the test of time. And you're going to have lots of these people in your life. Some will cause problems. Some will be fake people. Some will be people who are trying to get from you what they can get. Maybe you're a really good friend to people, and that's what you should be. You should always treat people how you want to be treated. And maybe they see that and think, wow, I want to be her friend. But a friendship takes work. Friendship is not one-sided. And so if you're doing your part in time, and it could take a week, it could take a month, it could take years. Eventually, people can't be who they're not very long. They eventually will show you who they are. And as I said, when that wind blows, let them go. And so I'm saying this to you ladies because I think it's something that we can all learn from. It really is something that I've used, and as I've said, I do lots of these things with children and really find it a fabulous way myself to learn. And typically it's really fun to have conversations with them in situations like this, where you're sharing stuff like this and hearing them chime in and things they add to it, and they'll start, oh yeah, so and so did this, and that's why, and so it really is. If you have children and want to use this, please do. I mean, you can add to it. I mean, there's a whole lot more. I'm trying to make this not so lengthy, but I think in this modern day and age, we have a different kind of friendship mindset in that many of us are virtual friends. And so would we all in real life be friends if we live near one another? Maybe, maybe not. I think certain of us, we like this, we have this connection with our reborn babies. But I think many of us have friends within this community that we're closer with, because the connections go beyond the reborn babies, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's great if you find several like-minded people that you can communicate with outside of YouTube. I have several of those ladies myself, and I'm very thankful for them. I also have friends that I've had in my life for over 20 years who I communicate with, and if I lived closer, would do things with, and I do try to either visit them or them visit me. Friendship is very important, and it is what nurtures our soul, is dealing with other people and learning from each other and laughing together and crying together. And I think we use the word friend kind of loosely. Because I think, again, if it's a real friend, it is an established friendship that you have been through things and you share things with, and have stood the test of time. And there are people that come in my life that I think, oh dear God, please don't let this be a seasoned friend. Please, please let this be a forever friend. But some people do go for no negative reason at all. It's just we've learn from each other, or I really don't know. Sometimes people go and I'm like, wonder what happened. But again, I believe people are brought into our lives to learn from, or we teach them. And sometimes people are brought in our lives to possibly learn from us, and maybe they couldn't learn from us and they have to go away. And again, that's not on us. I think God brings people in our lives for different reasons, and I would venture to gain if they were supposed to learn something from you and chose not to, a similar person is brought into their life because they need to learn something. And so anyway, but this is why I am okay with letting go. when things happen in my life. If somebody doesn't want to be in my life and clearly makes that known, I let them go. I will not chase people, because just like, taping a leaf to a tree expecting it to live on for years and years and years is pretty silly. Trying to hang on to a person who doesn't really want to be there is the same. And so I know it sounds kind of cruel, but it is true. I don't mean it to sound cruel. I used to say I get that from my dad, because my dad could shut off quickly. And I think it's, on some levels I see it as a gift, and on other levels I sometimes feel mean, because would that I could be friends with everybody in the world. That would be lovely, but it's not reality, because I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, just like nobody's everybody's cup of tea. And so, but anyway, I had so many lovely messages and comments on the plate analogy I did, and I had just told Myra in one of her comments the other night that I had one on friendship I wanted to do, and this is what it was. I really think it can be beneficial. If you've never seen this analogy or heard it before, it may help you, or if you have children or grandchildren that you want to share it with, please feel free to do so. Because it is true, and the sooner we learn this in life, that and I think part of it for me is I'm such a traveler that I do make friends when I travel, because for me, when I go to another country, whether it's for a week or months, I don't really do the touristy stuff. Yes, I do go see certain things, but for me, when I go to a country, I like to just get lost. I start walking and I find locals, and I sit down in cafes or restaurants and I start talking to them and ask them what they like to do, where do they like to shop. For me, the best way to learn a culture is to do what the locals do. And so I still keep in touch with some people I've met on some of my trips. And so thank God for emails and stuff. We trade emails and we've stayed in touch. And some of the ladies that I volunteered with in Ethiopia, that I was there for 6 months. And then there were others that would come and go during that 6 months. And some of them I've maintained great friendships with. We Skype, we message each other. So I don't know if it's because I've traveled so much that people have come and gone in and out of my life so much that I really don't know. I do remember I had 2 very, very good friends that I went to grammar school with. We started kindergarten together, and at the end of the 4th grade, I was actually changing schools, but one of the other girls was moving to another country. And it was that moment, that was when I realized that life went on beyond my world. The thought that she was going to be in a whole nother country going to school and I wouldn't know what she was doing. It never dawned on me, at the end of the school day and she went home and I went home. I wouldn't sit at home thinking, I wonder what she's doing at her house. But that's in 4th grade is when I realized there was a world beyond me. And so it was a rude awakening. And so, I just think because of my exposure to the world, I started traveling at 14, and I have loved it ever since. I guess I went to Florida when I was 11. But anyway, so I guess people coming and going for me doesn't make it more comfortable when people leave my lives. I'm not saying it's an easy thing. But if it's a negative thing, I can shut it off, because I feel like the time has come and the leaf has blown, so to speak. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that, and I am so grateful for all of the ladies. And I don't know if I have any gentlemen commenting on my videos. Maybe I did. Oh yeah, I do have a couple. I do. But I'm thankful for all the people I've met through YouTube. I won't go into that again, why I got on YouTube, but it was a great way to reach out, and I have met some absolutely amazing, amazing people who, without YouTube, I would never, ever, ever have met. I think I just watched a video today that Crystal did. I'm going to stop making y'all look at my tree. I'm going to show you the girls. I set them up. I was watching the video Crystal did about before and after YouTube with her reborns, and it's true. There are so many of you I never would have met if it weren't for YouTube, and I thank God for my friends. And so, anyway, that was just a little fun analogy, a little friendship thing. And I do want to do, Debbie, I want to do your video very, very soon. I want to participate. There's my goodies from Suzanne. I'm going to go take my shower and finish my crunchy and put on some of that hand lotion. Not in that order. Anyway, but I do want to show you, Raleigh came out of the oven. So her details are done. Her lips actually are not that pink. They're coming up very pink. In person there, no. Anyway, so she's done. She just needs to be matte varnished, and then she needs hair. And Miss Serenity's color is done. She just needs all her shading and details done, and then she'll get hair. Look at how funny they are next to each other. Their little colors are so different. But I tell you, I got to listen to my kits, and when they say stop, I got to stop. As I've said before, oh, excuse me, Raleigh is my Zipporah here. And I've said in the past that my Zipporah is too red because I made her very quickly to go to the doll show. And as you can see next to this Raleigh, you see how red mine is? There's a lot more red than brown. But I love her. Right, Zipporah? All right, ladies. I do hope y'all enjoyed my little friendship analogy. And I, again, am thankful for all you lovely people out there who come visit my channel, who leave your comments. I know there are so many channels we all try to keep up with. We do our best. But I am thankful for when you do stop by. And thank you so much, ladies. Have an absolutely blessed evening. Hugs and love from us. Bye-bye.